WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV, continuing on this pretty warm April day. Gwinnett Braves are back in full swing, by the way, and we're right in the middle of the first homestand of the year. Stuff's tiring, man.
Yeah.
Tiring. I'm on like a Morgan Lee kind of schedule where every night I'm at a different sporting event.
Yeah, you're probably up till 1, 2, something like that.
And then turn around and
here, 5 or something?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 5 a.m. That's exactly right. But that's all right. It's all about baseball. And you can check out Gwinnett Braves all the way down to high school sports and anything in between. AccessNorthGA.com, the sports section. Mr. Morgan Lee does a great job of keeping everything organized. All right. You got to go on your birthday, I guess, was when you got to go over to Athens.
It was a while ago, yeah.
That was a while ago, a couple 3 weeks ago?
March 31st, yeah.
Okay, So
2 weeks ago.
I'm sure you had a fantastic time over there.
Yeah.
Went to the Roadhouse Bar, I'm sure. And got to see what was going
Roadhouse,
on.
by the way.
Yes. I'm very excited about that. Anyway, G-Day game is coming up this Saturday. Most Georgia fans, you say G-Day game, and they can talk for like an hour about what you should look for, spring practice, this and that. Morgan Lee is no different. But give some storylines of what's going to be coming up, because you and I were talking, jobs aren't won or lost necessarily the G-Day game, but I guess it's like the culmination. It's what you were looking at spring practice you can actually see in game format.
Sure, it's just another step in the process. Really, it gives coaches and fans a chance to see what these kids can do with maybe a little bit more added pressure of just kind of the fans there and the whole game experience. Even though G-Day is about as close to an actual game as playing Madden, but
right.
I mean, maybe not quite that far off, but it's certainly not anything like what you're going to get open in the Dome against Boise State. But there's a ton of stuff to watch for this weekend. Even though, like I said, it's not a game situation, you can still watch individual players and watch how they respond. I think it's going to be very interesting, especially here locally. We've got some guys who are looking to make some hay. Tavares King, who I've got a story up on the website right now, he is trying to kind of take over leadership of that receiving core, very young receiving core, really. A.J. Green and Chris Durham, the top two receivers from last year, have left. A.J. is going to be a top 10 pick, I think, at the least.
You think Durham's going to will he get drafted?
I think he will. I mean, what is frankly very much a possession receiver. I think runs precise routes, and I mean, you saw in the Tech game. I mean, he does have some speed.
Yeah.
I think Tavares is really he's going to be a junior. Last year, he kind of started to break out a little bit. He had a great game against Arkansas. Had a huge touchdown catch against Florida, and a pretty nice tackle, frankly, that almost won us that game. But anyway, he's trying to make some hay. Chase Vassar, a kid that some folks might remember from around here, Chestatee
High School,
yeah. With all the injuries that have been occurring at linebacker, he has actually had a chance to play a lot in some of these scrimmages.
I had no idea. Very good.
Yeah, he I think he picked off a pass in the first scrimmage, or maybe it was the second scrimmage. But he's going to get a look. A couple offensive linemen. Colton Houston is definitely going to play this year. Dallas Lee, I think, was expected to play a lot, but he's had what they call an asthma-like condition. So I don't know if he's got asthma.
It's the pollen. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. But he hasn't been able to practice very much through spring, which does hurt. But Colton Houston has really kind of impressed some folks. Other than that, I mean, obviously, I think one of the big things to watch is going to be offensive line in general, because with Trenton Sturtevant tearing his ACL for the third time, and frankly, his career is probably finished.
3 times, unbelievable.
Yeah, you hate to see for anybody. I think that offensive line, all of a sudden now there's going to have to be some more shuffling. There was already some shuffling going on, and now there's going to have to be some major shuffling. You want to see how those guys kind of work as a unit, how they can be cohesive. I think you want to see if a running back can step up, because Washaun Ely hasn't really practiced throughout the spring, after just getting back on the team through whatever indiscretions he's had. Caleb King, this is certainly his chance to step up and kind of put a marker down. I mean, granted, I think a lot of people would say, well, he's had a chance to do that the past couple of years.
Exactly.
But certainly with Isaiah Crowell, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, coming in and nipping at their heels, anybody playing running back is going to want to say, hey,
a little more fire lit under them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think defensively, the big thing that I've been hearing about is the play of Kwame Gathers, who's the current nose tackle. Georgia signed this huge nose tackle that's coming in is supposed to be, all world. But from what I understand, Kwame Gathers, I guess, is really taking that challenge personally, and say, hey, I'm going to win this, or at least, play a lot. And he's been kind of impressive. The secondary has been just kind of wrought with injuries. You can be careful. They might throw me out there at safety on Saturday because there's been a lot of guys injured. There's been a lot of concussions, which, it's kind of it's one of those things where it's like, a guy, you hate to have kids injured, but at the same time, I think when you think about Georgia's defense over the past few years, you think about them not hitting a lot. Mm-hmm. You get concussions through hitting a lot, so it does sound like they've been physical in practice.
Which is kind of what they did halfway through last season, right? Or toward the end.
And I think, it may hurt you in the short term, but I think in the long term you'll be a lot better for it.
There you go. So G-Day game is at 1 o'clock, is that
1
right?
o'clock in Athens. Admission's free. The only thing they're asking is you bring some canned food for North Georgia Food Bank.
That's cool. What kind of crowds usually go to that thing?
Anywhere between 20 to 35,000. I mean, the
not
place,
bad.
Yeah, the place will be about a third, quarter full.
It's not Alabama where you get 100,000 drunk people just to watch a scrimmage, right?
Yeah, there's not much else to do in Alabama.
That's a good point. All right, we'll wrap it up after this. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Be right back.
At Riverside Pharmacy, if you have questions, they have answers. If you don't have time, they won't make you wait. If you need special items, Riverside Pharmacy can order them. They want to be your pharmacy, and that's what sets them apart. Service. And just inside Riverside is the Gift Nook, where you'll find more great service in a new line of beautiful wall plaques and great colorful bags. Shop the Gift Nook in Riverside Pharmacy in the old Sherwin-Williams building on Green Street.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville. North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9, WDUN. Now 2 stations strong, AM 550, FM 102.9, WDUN.
All right, wrapping it up here. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Check us out, youtube.com, and just search for WDUN Sports Talk. We're all over the place. All right, we mentioned Georgia G-Day game coming up this Saturday. Georgia Tech practicing down in Atlanta. My Jackets, we'll see what's going on with them this year, but Morgan Lee's going to be going down there early next week, and still some local guys on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Daniel Drummond, is back in the fold after being suspended last year, and is apparently had a pretty good scrimmage last week. Going to go down there and try to talk to him, try to talk to Jean Cross, who was a standout at Flowery Branch, and he's looking to get some significant playing time this year at defensive end.
And I think he will too. I mean, he showed some really good moments. Last season.
He's one of those kids. It's pretty explosive. I think the only thing anybody kind of worried about with him with his overall size, but he's had time to put some weight on in the strength program. So he's one of those kids you kind of enjoy talking to because he's pretty candid and he's a good talker.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd never talked to him until last year. I think spring practice, I went and talked to him, and great interview, great kid.
Absolutely.
A guy it's easy to root for. And Daniel Drummond, I think, switches to the defensive side where I think he can make a little more of an impact. I think before he was going to be the B-back, the fullback of that offense, but now he can do a little more on defense.
Yeah, he's going to be playing. I think they've got him playing at Mike linebacker. And like I said, I feel like he might have had 9 tackles in that first scrimmage. I mean, pretty big day. I don't know the Tech depth chart as well as I do George's, but he's one of those kids. He showed through his career that strangely he seemed to get stronger as the season went on. Never really had any major injuries or anything like that I can remember. Very, very just compact athlete as he showed. Winning the state discus title a couple times. Very explosive.
Big, strong kid.
Yeah,
so you'll be heading down there on Monday.
Yep.
Look for a thing on Georgia Tech next week. And, of course, all the high school stuff we were talking about earlier, all weekend long, accessnorthga.com. Just click on the high school page, and you can see all of it. Morgan, appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Scott McIntyre producing back at the station. There he is. He showed his face. Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll talk to you next week. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Goodbye.